we're going to have a look at a video that is talking about letting go of someone you love. How to let go of someone you love, from Sally Harris. We're going to do a response video to this, hopefully on the positive side, because I guess, and I hope you haven't, but I've been in plenty of situations where I've had to let go of somebody that I love on principle. So let's see what Sally Harris has to come up with here.
Hi everyone. Are you a mom that is struggling with letting go with someone you love? And in this case, obviously your adult child, which is probably the most difficult person to let go of.
Okay, so we're going to let go of an adult child, apparently.
Well, this video is for you. And for those of you that are brand new to my channel, I just want to welcome you. My name is Sally Harris, and I'm a mom who walked this difficult road with my own daughter for over a decade. And when her life spiraled, so did mine. So I understand and can empathize with where you're at right now, whether you are in the very beginning of this or you are in the messy middle, as I call it. It really is a journey, and it's something I really want you to be able to learn to focus on you about. And that's why letting go, learning to let go, not forget, not move on, but let go and move forward is so important. So in regards to this, we all know, even with, if you may have an adult child that you have a great relationship with, we all know that there's a different type of dynamic as our kids grow older. And it's really important to know that, there is a way to keep a strong relationship, and the bond that you have with even that other child is different than maybe it was when they were younger. Why? Because they are growing into their own. They're growing into their own person, and they're going to have bumps along the way. And sometimes they're not serious bumps, and you're able to work through it together, and life goes on. And then in this case, where you have maybe an estrangement with your adult child, or maybe there is just a lot of animosity and disrespect and just a lot of hurt and pain in your relationship. Now, if that's you, I want you to remember that this is not going to be forever. I am a firm believer of that. And I know some people don't like to hear that, but I am a firm believer that there is always hope. There's always hope. Everyone has the opportunity to change if they want to. And I want you to remember.
You know what amazes me about this? A lot of these parents are in fear that their children are not going to love them again, and they're never going to see their child again. And in some cases this happens, right? In really toxified cases this happens, but you don't know what the parent's done to the child in those cases. Now, what the problem is here, and this is a reason for a lot of the trouble, is the lack of belief in the parent themselves for the direction that they need to help these children to go. If you're leading by example, right, if your life is led by example, you're clear-minded, you don't agree with drugs or alcohol and any of that rubbish, right? You're flexible in your thinking, you're not an oppressor, you believe in those around you, you've shown them boundaries and wisdom, you've shown them that it's important to care and be respectful, and they choose to go against that, why would you fear? Now, when these people think they know better than what you do for their limited amount of time they've been on in this world, you better be very careful how you navigate them from that point. Because, as I said yesterday to my older son, as we were driving up the highway after we dropped one of the sons out of the truck for being late, he got put out. I'd been driving up that road to Newcastle since, oh well, be 40 years, and it seems like yesterday. And I said this to him, that I was driving up this road 40 years ago. I'm 57, and it seems like yesterday. This is not a joke. Your life is gone before you know it. So meandering around ain't helping anybody. You lead by example. No drugs, no alcohol, no lying, none of the 7 deadly sins, none of the 6 things the Lord hates. And hopefully you know what they are, because they're the foundations of your life as far as integrity goes. And if these people think they know a better way, let them go. Don't fear whether your children love you or not. Like, get some stability in your brain and in your mind. Get some backbone, for goodness sake. Really, who needs who here? Does the parent need the child, or the child need the parent? This is what's happening these days. These parents are so codependent on their children, they've lost their way.
Remember that. And that doesn't just go for your son or daughter, that goes for you too. And when it comes to change, I could talk to you all day about that, because that is something that I finally dived into during this season that I was going through with my daughter. But leading up to that point where I made that decision, it was pure chaos for me, pure chaos. And then I learned that I had to be okay, whether she was going to be okay or not, whether she chose to.
Okay, so what we've got is a case of a woman that didn't understand the principles of raising a rebellious, out of order child. And if you listen carefully to what this woman's saying, and really this is fair income, this is serious, what she's saying is, it really doesn't matter where these children are at. You've got to look after yourself. And that sounds selfish, doesn't it? But no, there's a whole lot of parenting that's gone before you've gotten to this point of raising them, feeding them, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars of time and care and all this sort of thing. And you've gotten to the point in life where it's over to them. If they want to go down this road of chaos and rebellion and micro incremental dark triad characteristic behavior, if you really listen to what this lady's saying, she's saying you've got to look after yourself.
Come back to us or not, I had to keep going, right? For myself. And if you don't have it in you right now to even feel like you're doing it for yourself, then do it for someone else. Do it for one of your other kids, for your spouse, your friends, your family.
Okay, so it's whatever's happened to this woman, and it sounds like it was pretty bad. She's had to abandon, right, her concentration, her focus from this micro-incremental dark triad behavioral child. Basically what she's saying, if you listen carefully to what she's saying, she's had to let this person find out what life is all about on their own. She wasn't prepared to meander and support the behavior of this child anymore. Now, is there anything wrong with that? No, of course there isn't. I mean, these people get to 18. It's up to them. If they think they know better, let them go.
Whoever that person is that you have a bond with, you need to do it. My hope is that you're doing it for you, and eventually you will. But whatever it takes to get you started on that path is what I would love for you. Rebuilding family relationships, once you're estranged, rebuilding is something that we hope for. This is what we strive for. But I want you to remember.
What I don't understand is, honestly, these people are so bonded to their children, right? It's so far out of order. It's not funny. You've got a job to do with your children. That's to help them to be as wise as they can be before they go out into the world. Unfortunately, today, and it's been like this in history as well, the codependency and toxicity between parent-child bonding is sabotaging these children in such a way as to they really don't know how to deal with themselves out in the world. So they stay with their mummy. You know why? Because mummy doesn't really know how to deal with herself out in the world. And she gets to have the security, right, in her dysfunction and failure, to have her dysfunctional and failing, but very loving, of course, we all love each other, children around. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, if this is in your face. But let's get real. This woman is saying she had to get to the point where she had to focus on herself. You should have been focusing on yourself the whole time. If these people want to go ransom, let them go. Do not enable rebels. There's no boundaries. There's no guidelines these days. It's all based on emotional fusion. And that's why a lot of this isn't working out for people. And basically what this woman's saying is, if your situation has got out of control, you need to focus on yourself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once that child hits a certain age, yes, you do need to focus on yourself, but you should have been leading by example all along. Please stop and wake up. You're meandering to these people. You're rescuing these people. You are not showing these people what their emotional boundaries are relative to the behavior and wisdom they're supposed to be displaying to be successful in life. You're too busy worrying about whether they love you or not. Wake up. Please wake up. This is Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison on the channel, Pro-Brick Exclusive and Pro-Theologist. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you in the next session. Obviously, we've got a bit to go here. What are we going to call this? Save yourself. What else can I say? You should never have been in a situation where you've had to do that. But unfortunately today, with the limited boundaries and wisdom that these parents are offering their children, this is where it ends up. Bye for now.